So it's been a good long while, about 3.5, almost 4 weeks now, since I got to talk about March Comes In Like a Lion. So the newest episode is finally out, and if you're unaware of it, then go out of your way and watch it, because the episode came out, yesterday. Actually, at the time of recording this video, I was busy yesterday, didn't really have time to make any videos. But anyways, getting right into it though, I'm glad to see March Comes In Like a Lion finally back. Been missing it quite a bit. It's one of those series that was one of my personal favorites to watch each week, and finally seeing it back and all that, where I could sit down and watch such a good show with amazing character development and progression. I was just excited when I found out that it was going to be airing this weekend. So, watch the episode, and oh my, this episode, I think, is probably the perfect representation of why I love this series so much. Now, I love Ray as a character, I love the development he has gotten, but if there is one big thing that the writer of this series does a very good job with, is that the writer knows how to give spotlight to side characters and actually make you care about them and not really know who you want to side with at the end of the day. So the main conflict of this episode is very simple, but at the same time, it makes you start thinking. So, we know a lot about Shimada. Shimada is a character that has been built up since Season 1, and we've seen the struggles and what he's been through to get to where he's at right now. And even though many like to say he looks old or whatever, he's not necessarily that old. And he's constantly struggled to be able to get a title, be able to work up the ranks and all that, and he's tumbled down a little bit, but he's managed to find his way and continue pushing on forward. He is a man that has always never given up, and he's tried very hard. He's an inspiration for everyone. He's an inspiration for Nikaido and Rei, and they've always looked up to him. And so, he's a wonderful character. He's a character we have seen a lot of. And as we know, with this episode, he is going for a title match. If he wins his upcoming match, he will get a title, and it'll improve his status, and, it'll make the people back in his hometown very happy. It'll make the people that look up to him, like Rei and Nikaido, very happy. So, he has a lot riding on his shoulders when it comes to him going after, that title. Now, on the other side, we have another character, Saku. He has been given characterization and development here and there overall throughout the course of the series, but not as much as Shimada. But this episode gives us some insight to his character and what really makes him tick and kind of what he has to deal with throughout his life. So Saku, he is a old man. I think he's over 60, and he has seen a lot. He has seen legends basically come and go. He has been there for many, many long years, and he is pretty much the only one remaining from his generation. His overall backstory, it's very sad, and it's very scary and real, because what Saku represents in this episode is something that will eventually come to us all, and I feel like that's what that message of the episode was, that every passing day, every passing second, we are getting older and older, and then one of these days, the inevitable will happen. We will eventually have to step down and just pass the torch to the next generation and die. And that's kind of what Saku basically was representing in this episode. He is someone that is like a legend. He has been around for over 60 years, and this man is the last one remaining, and you have it to where he has all these, burdens on his shoulder, just completely wrapping him up and tangling him, because for so long now, people have tried to continue pushing forward. They had to give up their dreams, and then they passed the torch over to Saku, and Saku continued to carry that torch onward throughout many, many years, holding title after title. He was extremely impressive. And so when you look at the backstory, he's like an old man that has been worn down. He has seen a lot. He has had to hold on to these burdens for so many years because he had to make sure he made them happy. He wanted to make them happy. He had many people that looked up to him as inspiration. So similar to Shimada. Shimada has a lot of inspiration and people are inspired by him, but Saku as well, he is this person that inspired a lot in many, many times past, but they're no longer there. He is the last sole man remaining on this top part of where his title is at. So it's pretty sad, and especially when you see that one scene when he wakes up and you realize just how old the man really is. When you see the man going through his medication and all that, like, he just starts saying, like, okay, this is, stomach, pain medication, back pain, he puts on the back pads, all that to make sure he's okay, cardiac medicine. It just shows that this man has gotten very old. He needs medicine every time he wakes up, and it's not just the way his body looks, it's just he needs medicine to be able to function properly throughout society, and it just shows how old the man has gotten, and he realizes if he loses his title or if he's ever demoted, it will be the end. And it's kind of like this: when you lose that thing you've been holding on to for so long, it's over. It's basically saying that you're washed up, you're done, move on, retire, and it's a scary feeling probably for anyone, and that's kind of what he is feeling right now. He realizes that if he loses, or if he loses his title and, he retires, he will probably never be able to get back in that spot ever again because of the burden of it and just the pressure and how old he is. So I do find it extremely interesting with how this episode was done. And I do give props to the writer of this series for that, because it made for a very fascinating episode, and I want to say, I don't really know who I want to side with. I mean, I love Shimada as a character, but after seeing what Saku did, I really like his character too. But if I had to go through the stereotypical route of what most likely is going to happen, I'm going to assume that Shimada is going to win. And the reason why I say that is because Shimada is still younger than Saku, and it would kind of represent, Saku passing the torch, letting the newer generation carry on his will, his burdens, and the man can finally be unshackled from all the burdens that are on his shoulder, where he can live a very free life. That's how I feel, or what I feel is going to happen, but I could be wrong there, but that's what I got from this episode. We got to see Rei and Nikaido. They actually were doing the commentary of the match, and it's a very different display. It also shows how connected these two characters are now, Nikaido and Rei, because, as we know, Nikaido always looked at Rei as like a rival type person. He's always like, you're my rival, I want to, be able to continue sticking side by side with you, go up the ranks and all that. That's what Nikaido always wanted. He always wanted that match with Rei. Rei, as we know, he never really looked at Nikaido as a rival until very recently, and now he started to respect Nikaido. He started to realize that there's more to this rivalry than just, having a rivalry, and it made me appreciate this scene in this episode when you see Nikaido and Rei just having a commentary talking about what Saku and Shimada are doing, because just the way Rei's able to communicate and all that and talk about it, it shows how much he has opened up as a person and has changed. Now, speaking of the moves of the match, though, Saku opens up the match with a very weird and unique move that nobody has really seen. Even Rei himself, when he's looking at the board, he's like, I've never seen anything like this. Of all the matches and records and stuff I've seen, I have never seen anything like this, which shows whatever Saku is doing, he's going out with a bang. If he is going to lose, or if this is his final match, he wants to make this match very exciting, and that's what I find really cool about it, is that this man, he's like, look, I may be old, I may be feeble or whatever, but remember this, I don't go down without a fight. I'm not going to go down with a whimper. I want to go down with a blaze of glory. That's kind of how that looked to me, and what I got from that scene when you see how he did just this unique move that nobody's really ever seen, or what he's trying to do. But we get a cliffhanger. We don't really get to know who won or what's really going on at the end, but like I said, my money is on Shimada most likely winning. But with that, I'm going to end this video here. It's a very simple episode, but it's enjoyable nonetheless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like, and I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.